Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Lon from NerfThis.TV. Today we're having a look at this, the Logitech Keys to Go Ultra Slim Keyboard. Now before I start this review, I think I should point out something. This is actually the Ultra Slim keyboard with add-on iPhone stand. Okay, so the iPhone stand is meant to be this little white plastic piece that clicks onto the back of the keyboard. I unfortunately lost it within the first 5 minutes of opening this keyboard. That's how useful it is. Just so you know, this is the review of the Keys to Go Ultra Slim keyboard without the iPhone stand. As with most Logitech keyboards, they are pretty well made. As you can see, it's super thin. Otherwise, it's actually deceivingly a little bit weightier than it looks. It looks very light and plasticky, which it is. I mean, it's very light and plasticky. Okay, as the box says, it is a ultra slim USB Bluetooth keyboard that can connect to pretty much any iOS device, Apple TV, iPad, iPhone. It is designed specifically for iOS devices. As you can see by the iOS specific keys there, although I'm pretty sure those would work on Android as well, but you can see there's the Mac variants of Command, Alt, which I suppose would define it as an iOS keyboard, although it does work on any other device, including Windows. I actually rewrote the review for this keyboard numerous times. The first one wasn't too flattering, because although it is super slim, lightweight, you can throw it into, I have a 12 South case that I was until recently been using with my iPad, and it fits perfectly in there. Great keyboard. All the keys work perfectly as you would expect, and with the new iPad OS coming out, I've been running the beta, works beautifully. The problem is when you want to start typing, it's not a great typer's keyboard. These keys are, if you can see there, they've got this real spongy feel to their keys, because of, well, the design of the keyboard. It's got a plastic sheet across the top too, because it's water resistant and spill resistant and that type of thing. So of course they have to protect each key. But with the problem is that now your travel is not great, although I use a MacBook Pro, so I know all about not great key travel. But what I do find is that when I'm actually typing, I need to punish the keys to actually get them to register, because there's not that light, we'll just tap around and the keys will work as they're supposed to. This you have to physically, the activation seems to be quite low, and of course with the plastic sheeting across the top, you have to press that button with a little bit of force to actually get it to activate. So I found that I'll start typing and then all of a sudden I'm missing letters out of my words, and wait, I know my spelling's bad, but it's not that bad. And then you have to go back and obviously go and correct everything. So that was my first time that I wrote the review. The second time that I modified the review, so I started getting used to this keyboard, and I don't know that a typist would be the type of person that would want something like this, because there's definitely a learning curve to using this. I now use it for the minimal amount of typing that I actually do on my iPad, but only when I'm traveling. When I'm floating around the house and office, wherever the case is, I actually use a different keyboard or totally, which is not quite as mobile, but at least it has physical keys with travel, and they're backlit, because this is not backlit, which is another sort of sore point for me. I often find myself lying in bed at night with a keyboard and iPad and jotting down notes that I've only just thought about. So that's what downside there. I don't like it that it doesn't have backlit. It is a very robust keyboard, and it does have all these extra keys that your Apple keyboards don't. So that's great, and I do use them. So all the media keys and your volume and that type of thing, especially the quick switch key in the top here, I often pop that on and quickly switch apps that way. So they're very useful. And unfortunately, the Apple keyboard seems to this year just have decided they're not doing any shortcut keys. So there's a bit of a letdown from Apple there. And of course, finally, the battery life. This thing has got a ridiculous amount of battery life. Let's see what they say. 3 months worth of battery life according to Logitech. I've had it for possibly 6 months, and I've charged it twice. So, and I'm not a heavy user with this keyboard. As I said, I only use it rarely when I leave the house and I'm going to a coffee shop or I'm traveling or something like that. So I suppose at the end of the day, would I recommend this keyboard? If you're somebody like me that wants something more portable than just a normal Bluetooth keyboard, and you're not a finicky typist, because that is definitely going to be the downside for you if you want this keyboard, then yes. If you're just an occasional typist and you are going to use this, then this is a great keyboard, especially for traveling around with. If, however, you do a lot of typing, I would steer clear of this completely. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.